On December 24th, 1971, Lanza Flight 508 was en route from Lima to Pucallpa, Peru, when disaster struck. A bolt of lightning hit the aircraft mid-flight, an event now recognized as the deadliest lightning strike in aviation history. The impact tore the plane apart, killing every passenger and crew member, except one, 17-year-old Julianne Koepke. Just one day earlier, she'd attended her senior prom. Only hours before takeoff, she'd graduated high school. She was flying with her mother to spend the holidays with her father when the plane entered a violent storm. Dark clouds swallowed the sky, and lightning flashed relentlessly outside. Julianne, who enjoyed flying, wasn't alarmed until a blinding flash lit up the wing. Her mother quietly said, "Now it's over." The roar of the engines grew deafening. Passengers screamed. The fuselage snapped apart and Julianne's mother was thrown from her seat. Julianne, still buckled to her row of seats, was hurled out into the open air. As she fell, she felt a strange calm, wind rushing against her skin, the rainforest canopy below resembling green cauliflower. Her seat spun like a rotor, possibly slowing her descent and softening the impact when she crashed through the trees. She blacked out before hitting the ground. A concussion erased the next 20 hours from her memory. When she woke the next morning, her watch read 9 a.m. Rain poured down, and she found herself partly under the seat frame. She crawled fully underneath for shelter. Her collarbone was broken, a deep cut marked her leg, and another wound on her arm would later become infested with maggots. Shock muted her pain. Doctors would later find she'd also fractured her shin, injured her back, and torn a ligament. Injuries she wouldn't fully feel until much later. Most people in her position would have been paralyzed with fear, but Julianne had grown up in the Peruvian rainforest. Her parents were scientists who studied birds and animals there, and she'd learned to navigate the terrain. That knowledge kept her calm, though she still worried constantly about her mother. When she could move, she searched the crash area for other survivors, marking her path so she wouldn't get lost. 4 days in, she heard the heavy flap of a king vulture's wings, a bird that only lands where there's dead flesh. Following the sound, she found 3 passengers still strapped to their seats, buried headfirst in the earth. One was a woman, but Julianne recognized painted toenails, something her mother never had. She rationed a small bag of candy she'd found, eating just a couple of pieces a day. She heard rescue planes overhead, but the thick canopy hid her from view, and soon the sound stopped. Realizing the search had ended, she remembered her father's advice. Find water and follow it. A small stream became her guide, its flow leading her toward larger rivers. Travel was slow. She wore only a sleeveless mini dress, had lost one shoe and her glasses, and used her remaining shoe to test the ground for snakes. By day 10, she was wading through water, ignoring crocodiles that slid away, less threatening than the forest floor. Then she spotted a boat tied along the bank. Nearby was a small hut with a can of gasoline. Her arm wound was crawling with maggots, and she remembered her father treating a dog's wound with kerosene. She poured the fuel into the cut, enduring searing pain as she removed dozens of the larvae herself. The next morning, 3 Peruvian men found her. At first, they thought she might be a water spirit, her blonde hair and bloodshot eyes matching local ghost stories. But when she spoke fluent Spanish and told them her story, they believed her. They took her by boat to a nearby village where she received medical care. Julianne Koepke was the sole survivor of Lanza Flight 508. By strange coincidence, filmmaker Werner Herzog had been booked on the same flight but canceled at the last moment. Years later, he would track Julianne down and make a documentary about her ordeal called Wings of Hope.